Students, today I introduce a new chapter, new unit, live and let live. Live and let live is the unit 4, that when a sapling is planted. When a sapling is planted is the our new chapter written by Wangari Maathai. She was a writer, Kenyan writer Wangari Maathai. Okay, it was a speech. Okay, it is in the section of speech. So you must know how to start the speech, what is in the content, what is in the conclusion. That's very important in order to write a speech. Okay, let us I give a that's first we want to know about Wangari Maathai's what this profile. Wangari Maathai, 1940 2011, was a Kenyan environmentalist and a political activist. She was educated in the United States of the University of Petersburg as well as the University of Nairobi in Kenya. In the 1970s, Maathai founded the Green Belt Movement, an environment non-governmental organization focused on the planting of trees, environmental conservation, and women's rights. In 1986, she was awarded the Right Livelihood Award, and in 2004, she became the first African woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize for her contribution to sustainable development, democracy, and peace. When a sapling is planted is her Nobel lectures at Oslo, December 10, 2004. When a sapling is planted is the Nobel literature of Hungary. So this is when sapling is planted is written by Hungary Mother. We know about this Kenyan environmentalist and political activist. Kenya, her dress behavior and mannerism is quite different, right? Educated in the United States of University of Pittsburgh, high-level education from America, as well as University of Nairobi, that is capital of Kenya. Okay. Well, the important thing is that he founded an organization. She founded an organization that's known as Green Belt Movement. Green Belt Movement, an environmental that is an environmental non-governmental organization without help of the government. At the same time, environmental organization in order to protect the environment. She founded and his group founded an organization known as Green Belt Movement. It is to protect the trees, plants, environmental conservation, and women's rights. Even human rights also comes to be as important. Okay, she got that's in the in 1986 she was awarded in the Right Livelihood Award, and in 2004 she became the first African woman. Remember, the first African woman who got that was received Nobel Peace Prize award. Nobel Prize, the great award in 2004. She was the first woman in Africa. Okay, her contribution to sustainable development, democracy, and peace. Democracy and peace. That's a very linking word. Okay. When sapling is planted is her Nobel literature also Oslo, December 10, 2004. When a sapling is planted is Nobel literature Bodingi. Right. Okay. So that's about when a sapling is planted. Hungary Maathai, very great writer from Africa. First woman she got was a Nobel Peace Award. It's great, is it? So let us. I want to know about the summary of this one. See that one summary. Okay. So it says about I told it was a speech done by Hungary Maathai while she was got a Nobel Prize. Okay. Okay, then we want to know the summary of this one. We want to know just to listen that one. Vankeri Mata expressed her sensitive and reverent love for nature. She was a very deep-rooted nature lover. She dedicated the Nobel Prize to the women and children of Kenya. Yes, she dedicated his Nobel Prize to women and children of Kenya, as it would encourage them to take leadership. Yes, she wanted the newcomers will come in front, especially these women. She speak of the various environmental damage and their reflect effects on the life of rural people. Yes, when forests are cleared, local biodiversity is destroyed. That was one of the environmental damage. What are the environmental damage? Forests are cleared and local biodiversity is destroyed. That was the environmental damage. Shortage of water and other domestic resources is another damage caused for deforestation. So deforestation one of the threat for nature. Due to deforestation, there comes shortage of water and other domestic resources. So she emphasizes more important for the importance of nature than care for nature. We want to protect our nature. We never exploit our nature. So that is the main thing she recommended. Okay. Then she, what's her opinion? In her opinion, the introduction of commercial farming causes much damage to the environment. Commercial farming, commercial means that farming means agriculture. Commercial farming means the item we have getting more cash. That means maybe rubber, like that is example for commercial farming, causes much damage to environment. It would replace house food crops. Yes, she recommended instead of commercial farming, we should follow what household farming, that means wheat, rice, etc. Similarly, when price of this export is controlled by international trade, a reasonable and just income could not be guaranteed. That means the product price also depends not by the agriculturists, but it was depends by the international market. So that is also one of the disadvantages she pointed out in this occasion. In such a case, a local people find it difficult to meet their basic needs. Yes, local agriculture is very difficult to maintain their basic needs because they didn't get a proper price for their products. That means the intermediate people are getting more profit. Those who have to sowed the crops and reap the crops, that people didn't get a proper share, proper price. That's one of the basic problems of the agriculturists. In short, when the environment is destroyed, plundered, and mismanaged, quality of life is undermined. So, in every source, that's exploitation going on, either nature or the agriculturist. So, one of the solutions is she said it that planting tree is the only lasting remedy for address this issue. Planting tree. And we should have to plant the trees. Hungary Mata is together with its members of activities. I told she formed an organization. That organization is known as Green Belt Movement. Plant over 30 million trees. This created employment and improved soil and watersheds. The work was difficult initially, but later, when people became aware of the problems caused by the environmental degradation and injustice of international economic arrangements, they cooperate with genuine interest. Okay. So she suggested that for improvement of agriculture and for the care of nature. In Kenya, all right, in Kenya, the trees became symbol of democratic struggle, as it was clear that responsible governance of environment was impossible without democratic space. That she recommended for the government should care more for agriculture and nature. So the tree also became the symbol of peace and conflict and conflict, peace and conflict resolution too. So tree planting is one of the best method for environmental benefits. Okay, then she says that it is highly time for humanity stopped threatening its life support system and it took initiative to heal the wounds of Mother Earth. That means she gave more emphasis for the importance of care of earth and nature. She firmly believes that there can be no development without sustainable management of environment in a democratic and peaceful space. So, if a good democratic country it is essential for care of nature, then only there comes a perfect environment for rule and ruled. So she exhorts what is that world leaders to expand democratic space and to ensure fair society. That means the world leaders should have to emphasize more about nature, give preference for agriculture, and then we have to getting better society. She also called for the young generation. That means she is recommended for new generation people also. What's that? To contribute towards bringing back what? Bringing back bringing back biodiversity of the past. When we when our ancestors has followed the same policy, we should have to follow the same policy here. So that in nature, our children can enjoy the world of beauty and wonder. Only our protecting of nature, then only we can enjoy our beauty. The young generation want to enjoy our beauty and wonder of the world. So, in conclusion, we can see that this is one of the warning, or she gave some emphasis for the importance of nature, agriculture, trees, rivers, mountain, plants, and everything. She should remind us to don't exploit the nature. We should follow our biodiversity. Then only we can get a very good society by the support of good leadership. Okay, that's about the what is the content of this chapter. So you want to go through this? Okay. Let us see here. We already said that this is a fourth unit. Sapling is planted. Sapling means small tree. Sapling. That means small tree is planted. Planted is. Then what is that? Let us see what are the things we want to know about that one. The role played by trees in maintaining this ecological balance in this modern world is vital. Vital means important, right? So read the Nobel Prize acceptance speech by Wangari Maathai, who nurtures sensitive and reverent love for nature. That truth means care. Okay, she emphasizes the importance of care of nature here by her speech. While she won the Nobel Prize acceptance stage, she wonderfully conducted a speech. That was the speech here. Okay, let us start. Okay. Your Majesties, Your Royal Highness, honorable members of this Norwegian Nobel Committee. Norway means Norway, the country, Nobel Committee. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. So, a speech should be conducted in an introduction. That beautiful introduction here. When you speak, when we'll take a speech, you should have to use such kinds of introduction. Not in the same way, it depends upon the circumstances, but should have introduction. And when you write your examination, when will you write your examination? You write the introduction very beautifully, not one or two words. Right? Okay. So that is the introduction of her speech. Okay. She addressed most of these people as inside. And this first paragraph, as the first African woman to receive this praise, I accept it on the behalf of the people of Kenya and Africa, indeed the world. Yes. As the first woman Two acts received this praise. Receive this praise means here Nobel Prize, not an ordinary one. Okay, so really I accept it behalf of the people of Kenya and Africa and indeed the world. Definitely, I'm especially mindful, okay, of women and the girl child. That means I am give more preference for emphasis importance of care of women and children, especially girl child. I hope it will encourage them to raise their voice and it take more space for leadership. By this award, she is said to in front of the audience, it may be great inspiration for girl child and women to come in front of the front. I mean, in front of the front of the society, or we can say that to enter into the leadership. Okay, so that's the first paragraph. Then second paragraph of speech, the content is now going on. My inspiration comes from my childhood's experience and observation of nature in rural Kenya. Yes, I got the inspiration. I inspired from my country itself, from the childhood experience. As I was growing up, I witnessed forests being cleared and replaced by commercial plantation. Yes, the forest is cleared. If the deforestation comes out, so much disadvantages. That means water scarce and household items are scarce. Everything comes out. So what happened? That means if it is comes just like replaced by commercial plantation, which destroyed local biodiversity and the capacity of the forest of conserve water. Yes, I told the disadvantage of deforestation is reminded by Wangari Mother in this paragraph. If it's deforestation and commercial crops importance, it will result to scarce of water and household items. Right. Okay. That means your commercial plantation means if you crop the commercial plant, we get more money compared to what our what is that household farming. Okay. Instead of rice and wheat, they are cultivated for commercial crops in order to get more money, and it will cost for the deforestation, and it will cost for the what is that different type of what damage in agriculture. She remained in her speech itself. So let us see that here is some of the meaning. Also, we want to know that behalf of everything is the see that biodiversity's meaning is the variety of forms and the life which make a balanced environment. In order to make a balanced environment, we should have to cultivate a way of proportion. This proportion wheat, this proportion rice, this proportion coconut, this proportion coconut, like that way. But if you give more importance for commercial crops, it will be damage our biodiversity. Okay, sustain is to support, recount is relate, planter is the word is never coming, it will come. All right, so we want to the first questions here comes as what was the impact when the household food crops was being replaced by commercial farming? It destroyed the local biodiversity. Yes, if you prefer for commercial crops, what happened? It destroy the local biodiversity and the capacity of the forest of conserve water. See, both are effects. Okay. What is according to Wangari Mata is a primary role of this women of Africa. Wangari Mata's primary caretakers all the responsibility of tilling and the land and feeding of the families. It will comes. Okay, let us see that paragraph. Okay. In 1977, when we started the Green Belt movement, it was partially responding. It was partially responding to the needs of identified by rural women, namely lack of firewood, clean drinking water, balanced diets, shelter, and income. So these are the problems faced by the African women at that time. right? So what will we do? Okay, in order to fight against, in order to avoid this, we should have to care more nature. We want a democratic for government, support of the democratic government. We never exploit the nature. We should care the nature. So these are the problem faced by the African people at that time. So in order to avoid that one, she would like to introduce a new movement. It is called Green Belt Movement in the year 77. It was a wonderful organization for establishing a balanced, try to establish a balanced nature and also uplift the women and girl child in Africa. Throughout Africa, women are the primary caretakers. Women are family, they join the families. I mean, they have to leadership, holding significant responsibility for tilling. Tilling means what is that? Before the sow the seeds, the prepare for the soil. We want to prepare for this in order to fill the growing the crop. A best soil needed. The soil should be what tilling. Okay, the land and feeding their families. These are the job of a woman in the time in the Africa. As a result, they are often the first to become aware of environmental damage as resources became scarce and they are incapable of sustaining their families. Here, they means here, women in Africa, their main duty to what is that? To tilling. They are the caretakers of the family, tilling the land, feeding their families. As a result, they are often the first to become aware of environment. They must be aware of the environment because they are always come and touch the land and the nature compared to men in Africa. So they understood the environmental damage as what is environmental damage here is as scarce. Resources became scarce. If the resources scarce means we not follow the balanced nature and they are incapable of sustaining their families. Not only the families but also new coming generation people also. So that's why they organized a group under the leadership of Hungary Mother in 1977. It was known as Green Belt Movement. So we understood what is the traditional job of African women here. So we already introduced this African women job and their activities. All right. Then what is the next? We want to show the next paragraph. Okay. The women we worked with, what recounted that means told that unlike in the past, they were unable to meet their basic needs. This was due to the degradation of this immediate environment as well as the introduction of commercial farming, which replaced the growing of household food crops. But international trade controlled the price of export from these small scale farmers, and reasonable and just income could not be guaranteed. I already told in the introduction that means if the farmers has farmed these crops after they didn't get a proper price, it was exploited by the intermediates. I came to understand, I mean here, Vangari Mother, that when this environment is destroyed, plundered means what is called as exploited or mismanaged, we undermine the quality of our life and the future generation. That if it is happen, it will be damage for this our entire beauty of the world, nature, and it will affect the future generation too. So these are the exploitation of nature by someone. Selfish interest of the some of the people here explained here. So we want to control this under the leadership of Greenbelt Bowman, and she recommended for all natural lovers to protect our nature. Okay, then next paragraph. Okay, tree planting became a natural choice to address some of these initial basic needs of identified by women. So this Greenbelt movement emphasizes more important for the tree plantation. See, we should have to plant the tree. That is a need identified woman. Still, this is a speech I told its introduction is gone, and now its content is going on. So she gave more emphasis for the importance of nature by planting the trees. Also, Tree planting is simple, attainable, and guarantees quick, successful results within a reasonable amount of time. This sustains interest and commitment. It depends upon our interest and commitment. Tree planting is very simple according to Wangari Mada or according to the Green Belt movement conducted by Wangari Mada. Through his speeches, she shared the importance of caring of nature and importance of nature, right? So very interestingly, she said it nicely. Okay, next paragraph is together. That means we should be together. She addressed to the audience, not only Green Belt movement, not only me. We should, all the people in the world have planted over. Here is together means here these African people have to plant it. How much? 30 million trees that provide fuel, food, shelter, and income to support our children education and household needs. So tree plantation is very important. That's why this green belt movement in Africa, 30 million trees are they have to provide what they have to provide after this tree plantation. They got the reward from tree plantation, the way of fuel, food, shelter, and income to support our children's education and household needs. The activity also creates employment and improves soil and watersheds. So in this paragraph, she say the most important way how to we have to getting profits from nature, how became more engaged, how our women sisters want to become a perfect life in the families, how the people got the job, how to improve our soil, how to improve our watersheds. So how our children's education want to improve through this way of cultivation, through the way of natural care. We attain success according to her and her group, that means green belt movements have so said it. So through these speeches she entirely gave more emphasis for the importance of nature and care. Okay, well, that's a very important thing we want to know. It was a speech conducted by Wangari Maathai from the stage of Nobel Prize while she got the praise of Nobel Prize. So here some of the question also you should answer is that what according to Wangari Maathai is the primary role of the women of Africa? The women of Africa are the primary caretakers holding responsibility for tilling, as I told, and tilling and the land of feeding their families. Next question. Why did they fail to meet their basic needs? They means here African women. Because of the degradation of their immediate environmental and introduction of commercial farming, which replaced the household food crops. That is, she gave more importance for household food crops should be cultivated instead of commercial crops. Then only there is proper environment comes out. How does environmental disruption and management affect life? Environmental disruption and mismanagement will undermine the quality of life. It will affect the quality of life. Okay. How does a tree become the symbol of peace and conflict management? That is, we want to continue. Okay. So here is some of the question we already said it. Okay. Let us we have to know about some of the meaning and this. Okay. Then what is biodiversity? Do you have a Malayalam word biodiversity? Jaiva Vaividyam. Okay. Jaiva Vaividyam. That is called biodiversity. Maybe you can get in the textbook. You don't panic. You don't. What's a try more? Okay, you must know that biodiversity. That means biological diversity. That means the one of the things should be balance the what is that nature or agriculture. Then only we can get a good nature according to Wangari Maathai. So I think it's better to stop here up to this. So you must be know that how to write a speech. That is a very important. How to write a speech. Maybe it will come Wangari Maathai's effort to establish a proper natural care. How she will reach with the help of this movement. You want to know that what is the movement's name and everything. How to start the speech, how to content, and how to conclude. You must be know that. Okay, that's all today. Take care. Bye.